Most adults over 60 believe walking is the safest thing they can do to stay healthy. And they're absolutely right. Walking supports your heart, your circulation, your joints, and your overall independence. But here's something many people don't realize. One small walking habit, something that feels completely normal, may quietly increase your risk of falling. Not because you're weak, not because you're out of shape, but because after 60, your body changes, and the way you walk needs to adapt along with it. In today's video, we're going to look at 6 common walking habits that may increase fall risk, and simple, practical adjustments that can help you feel steadier and more confident with every step. Before we continue, please remember this video is for educational purposes only. If you have a medical condition, recent surgery, dizziness, neuropathy, or a diagnosed balance disorder, it's always best to speak with your healthcare provider before making changes to your routine. Now let's talk about something important. As we age, our bodies naturally change. Muscle strength may decline, reaction time can slow, vision and depth perception may not feel as sharp. Even the inner ear, essential for balance, can become less responsive. And this is completely normal. It doesn't mean you're fragile, it doesn't mean you're incapable, and it doesn't mean you should stop moving. In fact, avoiding movement can make balance worse. Many people over 60 begin moving more cautiously without realizing it. They shorten their steps, stiffen their posture, and look down more often, usually to feel safer. If you've noticed any of these habits, you're not alone. Walking remains one of the most powerful and accessible forms of exercise after 60. It maintains strength, supports joint mobility, improves circulation, and most importantly, protects independence. The ability to move through life on your own terms. But here's the key. The way you walked at 30 or 40 may not be the safest way at 65 or 75. Your body deserves small adjustments that reflect where you are now, not where you were decades ago. The good news? We're not talking about drastic changes, just subtle, practical improvements that can meaningfully increase how steady and confident you feel each day. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, falls are a leading cause of injury among older adults in the United States. Each year, millions of adults over 65 experience a fall, often during everyday activities, not extreme exercise or risky behavior. It can happen in a parking lot, stepping off a curb, turning quickly in the kitchen, or simply walking through your home. Here's the encouraging part. Many falls aren't random. They're often linked to posture, stride length, awareness, footwear, and walking mechanics, factors that can improve with attention and practice. Research shows small changes in movement habits can significantly reduce fall risk over time. Not overnight, but gradually and safely. That means you likely have more control than you think. When you understand how your body works and how it changes, you can make simple adjustments that protect your stability and confidence without giving up the activities you enjoy. Let's start with mistake number 1, looking down while walking. Many older adults look down at their feet, especially outdoors. It feels safer, like you're protecting yourself from cracks or uneven pavement. That instinct makes sense, but here's what many don't realize. When you constantly look down, your center of gravity shifts forward, your shoulders round, and your head moves ahead of your hips. Over time, this forward posture interferes with your natural balance response. Balance isn't just about your feet. It depends on coordination between your eyes, inner ear, muscles, and joints. When your head stays tilted down too long, that system works less efficiently. You may notice that when you suddenly look up after staring down, you feel slightly unsteady. That's your balance system recalibrating. Picture this. You're walking through a grocery store parking lot, eyes fixed on the ground. You miss the curb ahead. Your foot hits it unexpectedly, and in that split second, your body scrambles to recover. That's how quickly a fall can happen. A simple adjustment can help. Instead of staring at your feet, keep your gaze 10 to 15 feet ahead. No need to stare rigidly, just lift your eyes gently. This keeps your posture upright, your head aligned over your hips, and allows your visual and balance systems to work together more naturally. When your head stays centered, your reactions become quicker and more coordinated. You're not just seeing better, you're stabilizing better. If you catch yourself looking down while walking, you're not alone. It's very common. Sometimes the smallest posture adjustments create the biggest improvements in stability, and this small shift can make walking feel steadier almost immediately. Mistake number 2, taking very short, shuffling steps. As confidence decreases, many people naturally take smaller steps. It feels cautious, controlled. In the moment, it may seem safer, but shuffling creates a different risk. When your steps are very short and your feet barely lift, your toes stay closer to the ground. This reduces foot clearance, the small but critical space between your foot and the surface as you move. And even a slight reduction matters. It only takes a raised sidewalk, the edge of a rug, a door threshold, or a small crack in the pavement for your toe to catch. When that happens, your body has almost no time to react. Imagine walking through your living room at night. You've taken that path hundreds of times, but this time your toe barely clears the rug. It catches for a split second. Your upper body keeps moving forward, and suddenly you're off balance. That tiny hesitation, that's where many falls begin. Shuffling also makes your walking less fluid. Instead of a smooth heel-to-toe motion, your steps become flat and hesitant. Over time, this reduces rhythm and coordination. Walking is meant to have gentle flow. When that flow disappears, balance becomes reactive instead of proactive. A simple adjustment helps. Gently lengthen your stride, not dramatically, not forcefully, just enough so your heel touches first, then rolls forward. Think smooth, think steady, think controlled. You're not trying to walk faster, you're walking with intention. Even lifting your toes slightly higher can restore safer clearance. If you've noticed your steps getting shorter over the years, especially when you feel unsure, you're not alone. It's one of the most common unnoticed changes. Even modest improvements in stride length can reduce tripping risk and restore natural rhythm. Sometimes confidence begins with one slightly longer, steadier step. Mistake number 3. Walking too fast on uneven surfaces. This one surprises many people. We often keep the same pace everywhere. Sidewalks, grocery store aisles, gravel paths, parking lots. Our brain gets used to a rhythm, and we rarely adjust it. But uneven surfaces require more attention and quicker balance corrections. When the ground isn't level, your body makes constant micro-adjustments, small shifts in your ankles, knees, and hips to stay steady. These happen automatically, but they need time. If you move too quickly, your body has less time to react. A small dip in the pavement, loose gravel, a raised curb, wet leaves. At a faster pace, these minor changes can catch you off guard. Imagine walking across a parking lot that looks flat. You don't notice a shallow dip near the curb. Your foot lands unevenly. Your ankle rolls slightly. Not enough to fall, but enough to make your heart jump. Your body scrambles to recover. That split second is all it takes. When we rush, balance shifts from controlled movement to reactive correction, and reactive balance is always less stable than intentional movement. Slowing down slightly gives your balance system time to process what your eyes see. It allows your muscles to respond in a coordinated way instead of reacting suddenly. This doesn't mean walking slowly all the time. It means adjusting your pace to your environment. When walking outdoors, especially in unfamiliar areas, reduce your speed a little. Scan ahead. Notice elevation changes. Watch for shadows that may hide uneven spots. Give your body an extra half second to respond. Slowing down isn't weakness, it's awareness, it's control. Which situation feels most familiar? Uneven sidewalks, gravel, or wet leaves? Have you ever felt that sudden loss of balance on uneven ground? Mistake number 4, not swinging your arms. Arm movement plays a much bigger role in balance than most people realize. As we get older, many of us begin holding our arms stiffly at our sides while walking. Sometimes it's habit, sometimes tension. Sometimes we're trying to feel more controlled. But when your arms stay rigid, your body loses one of its most natural counterbalance systems. When you walk, your arms and legs are designed to move in opposition. As your right leg steps forward, your left arm swings forward. As your left leg moves, your right arm follows. This cross-body pattern stabilizes rotation through your torso and keeps your center of gravity steady. Without that gentle arm swing, walking becomes more rigid and less fluid. Your steps may feel shorter, turning may feel slightly awkward, and your body works harder to maintain balance. Try this for a moment. Stand up and walk a few steps with your arms completely still at your sides. Notice how stiff it feels, how your body may wobble slightly when you turn. That subtle instability is what happens when arm swing disappears. It may not feel dramatic at first, but over time, Reduced arm movement can decrease coordination and rhythm, especially when changing direction or walking on uneven ground. Arm swing isn't extra movement, it's built-in stabilization. The adjustment is simple. Allow your arms to swing gently and naturally as you walk. No exaggerated motion, no aggressive pumping, just relaxed movement from the shoulders. Let them move in sync with your steps. Keep your hands soft. Release tension from your upper body. When your arms move naturally, your torso rotates smoothly. Your stride becomes more rhythmic, and your balance reactions become more automatic. Try it right now. Walk a few steps and notice your arms. What did you feel? Did that feel different than you expected? Mistake number 5, leaning forward from the hips. A slight forward lean often develops so gradually that many people don't notice it. It can come from years of looking down at phones or reading, long-standing posture habits, or reduced core strength over time. But even a small lean shifts your center of gravity. When you lean forward, your weight moves closer to your toes. This makes it harder to stabilize quickly, especially if you need to stop suddenly, step backward, or change direction. It can also shorten your stride and gradually contribute to a shuffling pattern. Think of your body like a tall stack of blocks. When the blocks are aligned, everything feels stable. But when the top block shifts forward, the whole structure becomes less steady. Imagine standing on a bus without holding on. Now imagine the bus stops suddenly. If you're leaning forward, you lurch ahead instantly. That forward shift makes it harder to regain control. The same principle applies when walking. When your head and chest drift too far ahead of your hips, your balance reactions slow down. Your muscles must work harder to pull you back into alignment. And when the ground changes unexpectedly, that delay matters. The good news is the correction is simple and gentle. Imagine a string lightly lifting the crown of your head upward, toward the ceiling or sky. Not stiff, not forced, just tall and relaxed. Keep your chest open. Let your shoulders soften instead of rounding. Allow your head to stay aligned over your hips. You don't need to exaggerate posture, just reduce the forward collapse. Next time you pass a mirror, take a quick look at your posture. You might be surprised. Which posture habit do you think affects you most? Mistake number 6, wearing worn-out or unsupportive shoes. Footwear is often overlooked, yet every step begins at the ground. Your shoes are your foundation, and if that foundation isn't stable, your body must work harder to stay balanced. Shoes with worn soles, smooth bottoms, or excessive cushioning can reduce traction and stability, even if they feel comfortable. And comfort doesn't always mean support. As we age, the sensory receptors in our feet become less sensitive. Your brain relies more on stable footwear to interpret the ground beneath you. If shoes are too soft, too flexible, or slippery, that feedback becomes unclear. And unclear feedback slows balance reactions. Imagine stepping onto smooth tile at the grocery store. Your shoe slides slightly, not enough to fall, but enough to feel that quick jolt. That small slip is a warning. Even minor slips push your body into correction mode. Muscles tighten, heart rate jumps. And on a more uneven surface, recovery may not be as easy. Here's a quick check. Press on the heel. Is it firm or does it collapse? Bend the shoe. It should flex near the ball of the foot, not fold in the middle. Look at the sole. Are the treads worn smooth? Do they feel slippery on tile or hardwood? If your shoes bend too easily or slide on smooth surfaces, they may not provide enough stability. Be cautious with overly thick, spongy soles. They may feel soft but can reduce ground awareness, and that feedback is important for balance. Instead, look for walking shoes with a firm heel structure, non-slip soles, moderate cushioning, a secure, stable fit. Your foot should feel supported, not floating. If you've kept the same pair for years because they feel comfortable, you're not alone. The right shoes won't eliminate all risk, but they provide a steadier base, and sometimes that small advantage makes the difference between a confident step and an unexpected fall. Now let's talk about something deeper. A fall is not just about a bruise or temporary discomfort. For many older adults, a fall affects confidence. After falling, some people begin limiting their activities. They walk less, they avoid outings, they become more cautious, sometimes too cautious. Over time, reduced movement can lead to weaker muscles, decreased balance, and even greater fall risk. That cycle can impact independence. But here's something very important to remember. Falling is not an inevitable part of aging. While no one can eliminate risk completely, many balance-related factors can improve with awareness, strength maintenance, and smart adjustments. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is confidence. Walking is still one of the most powerful things you can do for your body after 60. It supports circulation. It maintains joint health. It strengthens muscles. It supports mental well-being. You don't need to stop walking. You don't need extreme workouts. You simply need to walk a little more intentionally. Walking smarter, staying aware, making small adjustments. Aging doesn't mean becoming fragile. It means adapting wisely. And the fact that you're watching this tells me you care about staying active, steady, and independent. If you found this helpful, consider sharing it with someone you care about, a friend, a spouse, or a parent. Sometimes small reminders make a meaningful difference. And if you'd like more simple, practical tips to stay strong and steady after 60, feel free to subscribe. Take care of yourself and keep moving with confidence.